Okay, we're back. I haven't done the ranking Humongous Entertainment games in a while. So now we're on the B tier. The first one is Let's Explore the Airport. So this was a series of games featuring Buzzy the Knowledge Bug. They were the Junior Field Trip games, also known as Junior Encyclopedias in the original release of one of the games. But yeah, and I thought Airport was the only game they made until I found the other two games. I thought this was the first one, but no, it was actually one of the other games. So yeah, but this is the one that I remember. Sorry, my nose is a bit runny. God, it's been very runny a lot lately. I don't know why. But yeah, so this game in these games you explore different kinds of areas. This one is the airport. And yeah, there's a lot of different things you can learn. I just loved learning about them and clicking on like everything on screen. Even when I played the demo on the backyard baseball uh, CD-ROM that I had, I just loved like clicking on everything inside the airplane. And then I played the full game, and I was like mind blown that there was a full game. I thought it was just a demo. So yeah, and there's little mini games, and one of them, some of you may know, is the Lost Luggage game, uh, where yeah, you put the right colored luggage in the right boxes. So yeah, I played the demo, and then I borrowed this and the farm game from the library, and that was a very good game to play. So yeah, next up is Blues Reading Time Activities. So yeah, so Blues Clues, they made a lot of the licensed games for Blues Clues by Humongous Entertainment, and they were pretty interesting. They really felt a lot like the show, and yeah, I was just checking something. That's why I was kind of like slipping on my words. But yeah, this one, like most of the games are mostly just activity like collections, like mini game collections. But like yeah, I wasn't really fond of that. I just like playing Blues Clues, not like just playing with the characters. But there were some interesting games in this. I think there was a Go Fish game. Was it? No, it was like something. It was kind of like Uno, and there was a word adventure. You use these word cards to make Blue move. Yeah, I played this in elementary school, and sometimes it crashed the computer. Yeah, I think I have a copy, but it won't work on any of my computers. That's unfortunate. So yeah, next up is Backyard Basketball. The Blues Clues games are not available on Steam. Yeah, Steam was launched. They released a lot of the Humongous Entertainment games on there. They released everything except for the Blues Clues games and the Backyard Baseball games, because I think like Backyard Baseball is owned by some other company now. Getting really thirsty too. So backyard basketball is pretty much like backyard baseball, but it's a little bit different. This time you play basketball. I think I remember playing this in on a computer uh, in a library near my grandparents' house. Uh, I think it was either this or some other backyard sports game, but yeah, it was pretty nice. I don't really have anything to say about it. I was actually quite amused. Backyard football, that's kind of the same. I don't know why I put it on this B tier. I'm not really sure. It's not too bad. But yeah, backyard football. I think my little cousin really loves playing this game, and he doesn't really know how to play though. And then there's the 2002 version, pretty much the same. I don't really know what the differences are. Next up is Blues Birthday Adventure. This is based off of the Blues Birthday episode, but very loosely based off of that. There's four different adventure modes that come on two discs. There's the red disc and the yellow disc. I can't remember what disc I played, but I think it was the one with the tomato being one of Blue's Clues because that was in the demo. I could be wrong though. I played it in elementary school in a different classroom. It wasn't mine, but it was a very amusing game to play. So yeah, this is one of the few PC games I've seen that comes on 2 discs instead of one. It was very amusing. So there's different things you can do. There's what does Blue want to eat, which that is part of the demo, which I've seen on a lot of the Blue's Clues CD-ROM games on a lot of the demo catalogs. Yeah, and the tomato is the first clue, and then yeah, I think you might know what they want to eat, what game they want to play, party favors, or what like they want put on a show, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I think I played the party favor one as well. I don't know if that was on the same disc as the uh, tomato one. But yeah, Pajama Sam 1 is a very nostalgic game. The first Pajama Sam game I played, even the demo was pretty amusing. And I found the full game at the library, and I was quite amused by how different it was from the demo. It was much longer. So this boy named Sam, he's very inspired by a comic book superhero named Pajama Man, and he's afraid of the dark. I think the game is called There's No Need to Hide When It's Dark Outside. That's what Sam says at the beginning of the game. Oh, my throat. I think it's from talking too much. Ugh. I barely even talked too much. I only talked for like 7 minutes. I was kind of stumbling on my words. So yeah, so there's this guy named Darkness, kind of like the boogeyman or something, hiding in Sam's closet. And he goes in there, and then suddenly he's in this like big like world of the land of darkness, where we see like this big forest with like a lot of Sam's clothes and stuff. I don't know why I'm doing this. Yeah, and you have to find Sam's mask lunchbox or his bad guy containment unit, and his Illuminator Mark V, I think is what's called, his flashlight, practically to stop darkness. Since they were taken away by these really creepy trees, and yeah, and there's like a lot of different characters. We meet this carrot character, who appears frequently in a lot of the Pajama Sam games, most of the time. So, like in the Humongous Entertainment games, most of the games, when you replay the game, a lot of the paths to the items you have to collect are different each time. And a lot of the times, the mask is kept by the carrot, but very few times have I seen like the alternate path for the mask. Like I've seen the alternate path for the lunchbox and the flashlight several times, but not the mask. I've only seen that a few times. It's like underneath this dancing couch, and he stops dancing once Sam comes into the room, and Sam has trouble moving the couch, so he has to like get invisible, but he has to get like the potion and stuff. And I got like so frustrated trying to figure that out. So yeah, like the alternate path for like the lunchbox and the flashlight, I found a bit frustrating as well. I was a little kid, obviously, so yeah. And this game was also ported to the Nintendo Wii. Very bad port that was actually illegally made. And apparently, like, that and the other Humongous games for the Wii are rare because of that. But I used to have all 3, was it? I think they made 3 of them, but I gave them away. My cousin still has 2 of them, this one being one of them. But yeah, I was quite amused by that, but yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the Wii port. The Yeah, I don't really know what that's. Next up is one of those LCD games, like kind of like those Tiger Electronic games. This one is Freddy Fish's uh, Jellyfish Jamboree. I think this is a, a remake of the minigame from Freddy Fish 1, where you just, like, I forget what you do in the game, but, like, you just play with some fish. It's very fine. I vaguely remember playing this LCD game years ago, but, like, I'm not sure. I can't remember if it was that or, like, the Little Mermaid one. I think it might have been the Little Mermaid one, but I've seen footage of this, and it looks pretty cool. Next up is Putt Putt's Balloon-orama, or as Putt Putt pronounces it, Balloon-orama. I don't know who says Orama. So this is basically a part of the Humongous arcade games, junior arcade games, based off a lot of famous arcade games. This one's based off of Breakout, or Arkanoid, I think is what's alternately called. And yeah, this is a balloon-based game. Yeah, you pop balloons with pep, and there's a lot of different Easter eggs and stuff. A lot of the stages take place in different areas from the classic Humongous Entertainment games, including the Fatty Bear game, which I never even realized. And there's bonus levels that take place in outer space. So yeah. And I remember playing this game like years ago, like twice, in like some sort of indoor playground and in my daycare in the upstairs room. But it was not this game, but I know it was a Humongous Entertainment like junior arcade game, but it felt like this game, but it was not. It was kind of like a 2D side scroller, almost like Mario in some sort of ways. That's what it was. I don't know if it was this game or one of the other junior arcade games. I've checked all the junior arcade games. It's not any of those. So I don't know what it was. Next up is Putt Putt Goes to the Moon, the sequel to Joins the Parade. The Another one of the classic Humongous games. A very nostalgic game. In my opinion, it used to be my favorite, but I don't know. So yeah, Putt Putt visits Mr. Firebird, the owner of a fireworks factory, and Mr. Firebird accidentally launches Putt Putt into outer space. And yeah, he ends up on the moon. It has to get back by finding spaceship parts, rocket parts. Yeah. And the demo, to get the key, there's only one key instead of like a bunch of keys. You have to like give the mayor an ice cream instead of save some alien from this weird goo. Which I was like shocked when in the actual game, Putt Putt himself actually falls into the goo. Like, oh my god, it looked like acid, like he was gonna like melt or something. Thankfully he didn't, since this is a kid's game. Yeah, and he meets this character named Rover from the moon landing back in the 19 somethings. I don't really like remember when exactly it happened. I think it was 1969 or something. But yeah, it's old. Yeah, and he wants to get back to Earth. Yeah, there's actual humans that he mentions. I remember there's a Kipper the Dog episode similar to that, where Kipper's trying to catch a butterfly and he scares a human baby, which I was like shocked to see that. It almost felt surreal. Like a fever dream. Oh, speaking of fevers, I think I am getting a fever. So yeah. Yeah. And I remember I got this game. I got it like from Half Price Books. It was a 2009 release. That was a 2-pack. It had this and one of the very last Putt Putt games ever made. I think you might know which one that is. But yeah, I was shocked to see that. I think that was the first time I played the Humongous Classics games. Yeah, it was like very amusing. But yeah. And because it's a modern reprint, it actually can play on modern computers. Because I was testing this on my Windows 10 computer a few years ago, and I was surprised to see that worked. Next up is Putt Putt Travels Through Time. This is kind of a sequel to Putt Putt Goes to the Moon. Mr. Firebird is back. This time he's built a time portal, but it sucks all of Putt Putt's things into the different timelines, including Pep, and he has to get them back. I always tend to get Pep last. There's several different paths in this game when you restart the game, and it like changes every time. It's just so like amusing. It's like the most amount of challenge I've seen a Humongous Entertainment game, and that's what I really love about it. Some of them are really hard. I couldn't figure out for a while most of the lunchbox paths, aka. But yeah, sometimes like I think Toby the train needs like some sort of like water or something, and sometimes he needs firewood, which I couldn't figure out the firewood thing for the longest time. I was like wondering why like he didn't need water this time. So yeah. And Mr. Firebird does not get punished for his actions this time, once again. Yeah. I remember playing the demo for this game. There's two different versions of the demo. One from the original release that had Pep was, for some odd reason, in Putt Putt's inventory, even though we already lost him. But he was not in the 2002 version, which is the one I remember playing. And there's some line cuts. So yeah. And then I borrowed the game from the library, and I wanted to keep it, but I couldn't. And then a while ago, I got a copy, a box copy, and again, it's a modern reprint, so it will work on modern computers. So yeah, I still have that. I don't think I have it with the box. My mom threw away a lot of the boxes of my PC games. Next up is Freddy Fish 2. This is a lot like Pajama Sam 1. This is my favorite Freddy Fish game. And yeah, very nostalgic. I remember playing the demo several times on my Backyard Baseball CD-ROM, and I got to play the game for the first time. I got the 2002 Atari reprint, which also included what's the name of that game? Maze Madness, which I was very mind blown to play the full game. So there's a ghost haunting of the schoolhouse, and you have to set up a trap for him. And it turns out to be those sharks from New Jersey from the first game. And yeah, you find different things. Almost every time you have to get like either the pulley or mock stop mid. I don't know how to say it. And I think the life preserver is one that's commonly found. And almost every time I get one of those three things last. So yeah. It was a very fun game. I just loved playing it. I love that mini game that Luther plays at the shore with those crabs, I think. Backyard Hockey. I think this was one of the last Humongous Entertainment games before they sold the rights to Backyard Baseball or the Backyard Sports games. Yeah, I think it's like a lot different. I think it's more of a 3D game, but I remember playing it vaguely, and it's kind of similar to the hockey minigame in Putt Putt Saves the Zoo. I was quite amused by that. Freddy Fish 3, this one is a little bit different from Freddy Fish 2. It's not really my favorite, but like I was quite amused by it. I remember like the demo was really short. It was called a mini demo. All you have to do is just open the gate to like the festival, and yeah. Sorry, I was getting more water, and when I paused the recording, it like kind of lagged. Yeah, how long have I even had this phone? Already it's lagging? But yeah, Freddy Fish 3, you have to find the pipes for the missing conch shell. And yeah, and the culprit is always different every time you play the game. The ending is different. It's almost always Gil Barker. That's the bad guy. He's in a lot of the Freddy Fish games, replacing the New Jersey Sharks. Yeah. There's something else I wanted to say. I remember, like, before I played this, I played Freddy Fish 4, and even, like, the demo for that was pretty common, but I wanted to, like, get Freddy Fish 4 from the library, but instead I got this one, and I was, like, confused because how different it was. But yeah. Next up is Fatty Bear's Birthday Surprise. This one is a humongous game I'm pretty sure no one really remembers. The Fatty Bear character, I think, was copyright owned by like one of the creators of the game, like not by Humongous themselves. And they couldn't pay like royalties to them. But yeah. So yeah. And plus, it wasn't a very engaging game to some people's opinion. But I thought it was kind of cute. It was kind of like Corduroy or Toy Story or Barney. Fatty Bear, this bear, this teddy bear that comes to life when everyone's asleep and the other toys come to life too. They're setting up a surprise party for Kayla's birthday. It's not Fatty Bear's birthday, it's Kayla's. They set up like her room with like all different kinds of decorations. The parents come in and they're like not even that suspicious of like where they come from. And that like one of Kayla's presents is a dog. Literally it's Pep, but like the dog runs away and you have to give him a bath or something and get him back inside the present. Yeah, I thought it was a cute game. I used to get stuck on the bowling mini game. I just love playing bowling. There's a little Easter egg where Fatty Bear sees Putt Putt on the moon and through a telescope, of course. Freddy Fish 1 Freddy Fish 1 is fine. It's not like as enjoyable as 2 or 3, but like I thought it was okay. Again, I used to have the Wii port of the game, and yeah, that was very weird. And sometimes when you begin the game, you see a fish named Jason who looks like Putt Putt and voiced by the same guy. And then one click point, you can hear Putt Putt saying, "I'm going to the zoo." And yeah, that's a sneak peek. But then other ports, but in other portions of the game, you can see like Putt Putt's old design from the Humongous Classics games, and that was pretty weird. So yeah, Grandma Grouper's kelp seeds are missing, so you have to try to find them, and of course the sharks hid them. So yeah, there's not too much challenge in this game. I mostly remember playing the demo, where you have to save the fish Gabby from the cave. Yeah. And then last up on this list is Backyard Skateboard. So Backyard Skateboard is kind of like the hockey one, except skateboard theme. I think there's a few Disney skateboarding games that are similar to this one. I thought it was pretty amusing. I think I remember playing this somewhere, like maybe in daycare. I was quite amused by it. So yeah, that's it for now. Sometime I'll get to the C tier. The C tier is really long. I might have to do that in multiple parts. So yeah, bye.